Good. So, my name is Phillip and I'm an IT student here at Bonn. And I'm going to talk about open genotyping and genotypes. Who knows what genotypes are in here? Probably. Okay, so basically, what you can do nowadays is you spit in a tube, send it off to the US, and they'll analyze it. It's kind of like a genome, but cheapish. They just look at the areas of really high variety, called single nucleotide polymorphisms, SNPs. And because these are of a very high variability, they are quite unique. So if you have a complete SNP set of yourself, that thing is basically 100% yours, and you can be identified by them. And the funny thing is about these SNPs is because they are unique, you can use them as markers for diseases, for certain phenotypic traits like eye color, skin color, and for diseases like high blood pressure or a higher probability of dying of a heart attack or a higher probability of dying of a certain type of cancer. And it's all very interesting, but the problem is that all the data in this area is right now in the hands of two closed companies, 23andMe and DecodeMe. Both companies are in the US as far as I know, and basically it just costs around $200 for you to get your SNPs sequenced, and then they just send you the raw data and a small annotation of that data. The problem with that data is, of course, it's based on their stuff. You can't change that annotation, and they don't want to tell you the nasty bits. They just tell you, look here, you got blue eyes, but they won't tell you, look, you got a pretty nasty SNP which is marked to a 90% death by heart attack rate. So they just say, here you see your blue eyes, they don't tell you the bad stuff. This is where our tiny holiday project comes in, OpenSNP, working title SNPR. And it's a repository for people to upload their stuff. Their genotyping is around 30 megabytes, then it's going to get parsed and annotated with all kinds of sources that they're out there. So basically you get the newest, what the science of that thinks about you at the moment. The good thing about this, hey. There we are. No! What's going on here? The good thing about this project is, if you're a scientist who wants to work on that, on these data, you can't get the data sets from 23andMe. They don't give them out. So if you want to work on that stuff, you either have to create it yourself by getting genotypes from a couple of people. Like I got for my IT capstone project here, I got from the School of Medicine a big SNP set. But there's no way for a normal scientist to get it without creating it yourself. And this is where we come in, because people can upload their sets, annotate them with their own phenotypes, and other scientists around the world can then download these phenotypes for their own research, of course. And let's just do that quickly. Because of the weird resolution, you don't really see most of the page right now. No, not that. So this is getting passed right now. Doesn't take that long. Should be done already, actually. Yeah. These are the SNPs from a small data set. They all have a unique name, so it's relatively easy to parse. And each of these SNPs is then passed against a couple of sites, against Public Library of Science, which is a publishing group. For all the research they published on that SNP, you're going to get the results. And get published against Mendeley, which is a kind of citation management software, but it's also community citation, so meaning that Mendeley has for most of the papers the entry, so you get Mendeley's papers for that too. And against SNPedia, which is a wiki-style data repository where you can annotate single SNPs. So let's just look at one interesting SNP. This here's one quite interesting SNP because it got lots of different results from different data repositories. In this case, SNPedia, for example, has an annotation for this SNP that you're more likely to gain weight if taking a certain medicine. This is something 23andMe would probably tell you, but nonetheless, you have all these links to the other researchers out there. Papers from PLOS, papers from Mendeley, and what users share the SNP in this database right now. And of course, you are able to comment in case you have questions about this or something. I don't know. I just wanted to show this off because it's a nice small project which should make science more open. And we're trying to get live in 1 or 2 weeks on opensmp.net or .org. So if you are interested in these kinds of sets, if you would like to know more about it, set and are too lazy to write your own parsers, then put it up there because you're going to help other researchers out there. Of course, there's a big risk associated with opening your SMPs up because they're so unique. Even if you use a alias name for that, I can still identify you using that SMP set. It's 99.99999% you. So if you commit a crime and they'll take the SMP from blood you leave at the crime place, they will know who you are. That's the only. It is actually quite dangerous. Maybe you like to commit crimes, I don't know. And it's also, I wouldn't put my stuff up right there right now because my parents are not okay with it. Because, of course, I got my SMPs from my parents, so using my set you can know a lot about my parents. Which is, with my parents, currently not okay. So I guess I'll have to wait until they're not my parents anymore.